Got it.
Welcome everyone. I'm Lara. I'm the host for this team challenge. I will explain how it works, and I will be here all the time to answer any questions that you maybe have. In a moment, we're gonna meet our coach, Marta, who is gonna run this team challenge, and she will guide us and explain to us all about this new team challenge that is about building your resilience. It's gonna last 10 days, so we're gonna start today until the 26th of January, that is next week. Just to give you a hint, this team challenge, well, as I mentioned, is about building this resilience. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time, so get comfortable, have something to drink. Yeah, if you wanted to know a little bit more about Uloo and about how to join this team challenge, just stick around until the end, and I'm gonna explain a little bit more about how to join. So without further ado, welcome Marta, how are you?
Hello, thank you so much. Muchas gracias for the introduction. That's about how much I know in Spanish, but there you go. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. It's my first challenge as well, so I'm learning as we go. I'm learning to use the platform. I'm meeting the team, so it's all very exciting. Also want the feedback, want to hear what you need as well, so that we can prepare something that's like valuable and relevant to your needs as well, not just me talking, or sharing the knowledge. So let's keep it interactive, and let's keep the chats going as well in the Uloo app after this, so that we can communicate around what resilience is. But before we jump into the topic of resilience, I'll tell you a little bit more about me, just a short intro, so that you know who I am and why I'm talking about resilience and why am I here and coaching. So my name is Marta, or Marta, as I got used to people saying my name. I'm Polish, but I've lived in London in the UK for the past six and a half years. So got into to experience the British culture and have been through the ups and downs of relocation and expat life. So if you want to talk about that, I can definitely have a chat with you about expat life too. By day, I work within the people and culture team in a scale-up company. My professional experience for the past 9 or so years have been within various HR human resources roles. I worked in corporate and now in the scale-up environment as well. I've been in people operations, development, recruiting, global mobility. So I've seen a whole variety of challenges and processes that people are faced with when working internationally in different countries and across cultures. So that's definitely a passion of mine. But outside of my day job, I am offering coaching to people, often expats, people who live and work internationally, and I help them get more confident and more comfortable when navigating these sort of cultural transitions or life transitions. Transitions in general are very much a part of my conversations with people very often. There's a little picture under my face is my little bullet journal. I have probably like 10 of them by now. I've been doing that for a long time. Gratitude planning, that's the kind of thing that I do in my journals. Someone once told me that I think in tables. I quite resonate with that. I feel like I am organized very much. I like to put structure on chaos. I like processes, setting up processes, managing processes. So that's definitely a part of me. I also like awareness. I say that when you're aware of something, you can do something about it, in principle, which is also why you'll hear a lot of me about talking about emotions, mental processes, and values, and how they impact any other things that we're talking about. So resilience is very much a part of the skill set that we're talking about here, around emotions and mental processes. In the bottom right pictures, you'll see my recent artwork. I want to say that's my lockdown hobby that I developed, color pencil drawing. At one point I took out some old crayons essentially from my drawer, being bored in lockdown, and I found it really really relaxing activity. So I've started doing that more and more, and really enjoyed it so far. Very mindful, allows me to switch off really from the outside world. So there you go, a little bit about me. If you want to know more about any of that, feel free, obviously, to let me know. And moving on to what we're going to do today for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of the kickoff, we'll going to talk about what resilience is, of course, just so that we have the common framework and understanding of what we're talking about, and how sort of I also framed the topic of resilience for the purpose of this challenge in particular. We'll talk about why it matters at all to even talk about resilience. Why is it important that we have a look at that we build those skills? I'll give you a little bit of an overview of what we're going to do over the next 10 days and how you can get the best out of this challenge, really, how to make the best out of this experience. And we'll leave some time for questions and wrapping up as well. Sounds good? Cool. I see something in the chat. I don't see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, someone wrote the pictures look lovely. That's very nice. I try. All right, so let's talk about what resilience is. So definition, it's the ability to cope with and bounce back from difficult situations. And the good news is that it's a set of skills. So skills means you can develop them, you can grow, you can become better at it, right? So it's not a fixed trait or a fixed characteristic that you can't do anything about. It's like, if you don't have it, then well, tough luck. No, it's a skill, so you can build it. And that helps you pivot and readjust when you're handling change and uncertainty, any sort of negative event that's happening in your life. And good news also is that there are strategies to help you bounce back quicker from these negative events. So a way to illustrate it is like that. And that's kind of how I think about resilience for the purpose of this challenge as well. So you're living your life, right? It sort of has its ups and downs, but you have some sort of balance in your well-being in your life. Then something happens, something bad, a negative event. It doesn't have to be traumatic necessarily, right? But we're talking sort of uncertainty, COVID, right? Or you lose your job, anything, a negative event in your life. And then there are a couple of ways you can go from here, right? It can be that it takes you a very long time to manage those emotions that come up, right? To manage that situation, to get back to that well-being state where you feel like you're sort of balanced and you know what's going on and you have control over what's going on with your emotions and with your life. It can also be like that actually you're not going back to this. You're having some sort of damage to your well-being, potentially some that you need professional help as well from a negative event, and especially in terms of traumatic sort of events. But in a normal situation, what we're aiming for is that you're bouncing back. And the resilience means the resilience skills, if you have them, that means that you can bounce back quicker, more effectively, with less damage to your well-being, right? So that's what we're aiming at here, especially within this challenge, to try and build those skills, understand what the skills they are, what kind of strategies you can use so that it's easier for you to regain that balance and go back to that well-being state and control state within resilience. One of you also asked in the chat just before we kicked off in the Uloo app, for those of you who are already in the challenge already, how to grow from some negative events, right? So I don't want to only be resilient, but I also want to grow from the experience. That's certainly within the realm of opportunity. If you really build those skills and understand those strategies and use them wisely, you can actually grow from that event. You can go further than you thought you can. Growth is not necessarily a part of the scope for this challenge. We're trying to build those basic resilience skills here. But if you keep doing that and if you keep building those skills, you can definitely go to growth as well from certain situations. So what could that resilience look like, right? Like if someone captures resilience, what could that sound like? So it could be, for example, someone saying to you, wow, that was a tough situation. I mean, I'm really I'm really impressed by how flexible you were able to stay throughout the whole project, for example, right? So what you're hearing is like, okay, you were able to stay flexible, but really those skills that enabled you to do this were, you know, good problem solving skills, controlling of your emotions, and like having healthy ways for the outlet of those emotions, that negative emotion that will inevitably happen when the situation is difficult. Maybe you have the ability to use your breathing skills to calm yourself down and put yourself into that empowered state to make decisions, right? So although on the outside it looks like, oh, you were so flexible or calm throughout the experience, actually there's a lot of the skill that comes into behaving that way. So just have that in mind. And throughout this challenge as well, we don't aim for never experiencing stress or difficult emotions when we're faced with adversity, or we're faced with uncertainty or some sort of challenge in our lives. That's not what resilience is. It's a fair mistake that people make, that if they feel like someone is resilient, that they never are impacted by the negative events in their life. That's not the case. They are, but they're able to bounce back. They're able to control. They're able to go through and move through those difficult situations more empowered because of the skills that they develop, resilience skills that they develop. And so they're able to keep that well-being balance for longer, basically. So moving a little bit more into why it matters. So for me, it matters because change or uncertainty it's not something you can choose that it doesn't happen to you. I mean, it's life. It's part of life. It just happens. We can't really predict. With some of the changes in our lives, we can, obviously. With some of the uncertainty, we can kind of anticipate, but very often we can't. So if we can't, and we know it's going to happen, then we can either not do anything about it, or we can actually build skills to better deal with it, and so that it doesn't have that negative impact on us and that damage. So these are 3 quotes that I commonly hear around change. Don't know if you agree or not. Post your thoughts in the chat on this one, or if you've heard them before or not. I certainly think that the only thing that we can be certain of is change, for sure. So mindset that we have around what change is, or what uncertainty is and how it shows up in our lives also plays a role. So I've got a little exercise for you. So I'm opening chat now so I can see your responses. Please write in the chat, what are the first 3 words that come to your mind when you think about change? Let's do a little experiment. I'll give you a few minutes to write. 3 words that come to your mind when you think about change. Okay, we've got growth, fun, curiosity. Cool. So more on the positive side. Okay, and then we have the other side almost of the spectrum, right? Then we have hard, risk, dangerous. Scary, adapt, learn. Cool, so there's a mix of maybe more positive and maybe more difficult associations, right? That we have with the word change. So it's almost like it's either danger or opportunity, right? So kind of predicted this one, I won't lie. This is kind of how we feel about change. We can feel that it's more about a threat, so then that we have that more anxious fear, hard, dangerous, it's a risk, it's scary, right? Or we can think about it as an opportunity, as a fun way to grow and being curious about what happens next, right? Maybe it's a new learning, maybe it's an opportunity to adapt. So depending on how we think about change, or even actually making it really purposeful and conscious in terms of how we define change in our lives, or reframe the word change and associations that come with it in our minds, may make a difference in terms of how we think about building our resilience as well. Because if you think about change as it being a threat, as it being a danger, you put yourself in a very difficult situation. So one of the things that we're going to look at throughout the course of our challenge is to see the other side of the coin. So like, yes, change is scary, right? I mean, okay, we don't know what's going to happen. It is scary. It could be dangerous. It could be risky. but also what is the other side of the coin? Like what could be curious, what could be fun about it? What can we be curious about? What can we learn from the experience? So asking yourself those questions sort of to balance out the risk and the difficulty and the threat is one of the strategies in which you can actually manage and build your resilience towards this unexpected change and uncertainty. But we'll get to that throughout the course of our challenge. So just for now, keep it in mind to keep your mind open to that opportunity side of the spectrum when you think about change. So moving on to our challenge plan. We'll spend 10 days together. Today is the first day, so 9 more days. Every day we'll start with an activity, which will be posted in the Uloo app directly within our challenge. What's it called? Well, in a team challenge, I think that's what's it called, right? In the app. So you'll see the activities there. There'll be one activity per day. You'll also get access to a Google document where you see a little bit more, I'd say, content, knowledge pieces, literally just a few sentences of background on what the activity relates to help you understand the topic a little bit better and help you reflect on the exercise that you're supposed to be doing in a given day. And we'll talk about various things. So the purpose of this challenge is to give you tools to build your resilience. So I'm not promising that you're going to be resilient after 10 days of doing that challenge. That's just not going to happen. It's a long process. But what you are going to do is you're going to learn different strategies that you can apply in different situations and in different changes or uncertainties that you're going through, so that you have the tool and you have something tangible to rely on when you're faced with that adversity. So giving you tools is the purpose of that challenge, really. So we'll talk about strategies on managing your energy to see the other side of the coin. So we'll talk a little bit more about what I've just discussed with you around the threat and opportunity. We're going to get in touch with our feelings and needs a little bit more. So I told you I'm talking about emotions and awareness as well. You're not going to escape from that. I'll help you understand some of the basic self-coaching questions as well, which can be really helpful, not just for building resilience, but in general, reflecting when you're building any skill, really, and any focus that you have in terms of personal growth at the moment. Maybe one sort of non-standard strategy that I want to show you is to befriend uncertainty. So actually introduce some uncertainty into your life. Which is maybe counterintuitive, but actually when you're not faced with any particular adversity, that is a great way of building your shield in a way, or your skills every day when you introduce uncertainty into your life purposefully. You'll also get more self-awareness around the triggers, which sort of put you into that threat thinking mode when you think about change and adversity. So it'll be useful for your awareness to also know which needs are not met in a given moment, so that you can apply the right strategies. And I'll give you one strategy as well for when shit actually happens and you're like, I don't know what to do. I'll give you one activity as well that you can apply when you're feeling that you're out of balance and you need to get it now, get back to some balance before you start introducing uncertainty into your life, right? So you'll get something from for the here and now from me as well. And then the last day actually is going to be spent just reflecting on the strategies, reflecting on which strategies you can use in which situations, maybe now or maybe in the future, and really summarizing your action plan, because this is just the beginning of the journey. This is not the end of your journey of building resilience, for sure. If you do want to build your resilience skills, that's going to take longer than 10 days, but at least you'll know where to go, where to start, and I'm hoping that this challenge will help you do that and get on this journey. Few ways on how you can best get the best out of it is, well, you're already here. Some of you are already on in the app, right, and in touch with us in the chat and in the challenge. So I would love that for that ownership to continue. You are the owner of your development, so you'll only get as much as you put in terms of the work, in terms of your doing the activities actually daily and reading through the material that's going to be shared with you. So I would love to see you giving yourself that time, that 10, 15 minutes a day to actually spend with yourself, your thoughts, reflect and learn from this experience, and also do that without distractions. So I know especially if we're on our phones or any mobile devices, right, the app is there, so it's very tempting to get off it and you get notifications and whatnot, but try to really give yourself that 15 minutes every day to really build those skills and do those activities, because you'll only get something from it if you actually do the exercises. Reading about it is not going to help you much. So just saying. And then be open, be brave, really ask questions. If you have questions, ask them. We've got the chat available. You can message me directly as well. Within the Uloo chat. So there's different ways in which you can get in touch, and also be open and honest with yourself. So it's very easy to do these exercises and activities that we're going to share in the app, and answer to questions in a way that you think someone would like you to answer, right? But it's not about other people, it's about you. So answering honestly to the questions and doing the activities honestly is going to help you get the best out of this experience. And finally, we're a group in the app, right? We're a group of people who have the same goal, who want to learn about the same topic. So let's leverage each other's experiences, expertise. Let's share. I'll be encouraging you to share some of your reflections after each activity each day. So I'd love to see some conversations going in the chat so we can learn from each other and each other's experiences too. So let's see. Oh, okay, video technology, you guys. Should I play it actually? There's no point. Oh, yeah.
We are going to watch this very interesting video. So if you just play, and after the video, I will explain a little bit more.
Okay.
Want to join a team challenge on Uloo? Here's how. Go to the Challenges tab. Here, you can either click on Join a Challenge for the complete list or scroll through the recommended challenges. Once you've decided on a challenge, you can check out all the details. See if this challenge serves your goal, what you will do in this challenge, and get to know your coach better. Mark the dates of the team challenge and get ready to join. While waiting for the kickoff call where your coach will introduce you to the challenge, feel free to say hi to your teammates on the chat. You'll be able to see all of the activities and track your progress under the Me tab, and view your teammates' progress under the Team tab. If you missed any activities, don't worry. They'll be available under the Me tab for you to catch up. And congrats! By joining a team challenge, you've begun your path to self-growth with Uloo.
There we go. Lara, over to you.
So, yeah, well, as you can see, all of this is happening in the app. So first thing that you have to do is download the app. And the most important thing as well is mark the activities down as you are doing them. So the first thing that you will see on the app is all the team challenges that are happening at the moment. Like during this week, we have Marta. And if you were on the team challenge for Marta, you will go to the chat as well. So in the chat group, that is the second icon on the bottom, is where you're gonna see the activities that Marta is gonna be posting. So once that you click on the activity, you see the description. And on the left side of the activity, you see a circle. If you mark that circle, that means that activity is done. So everyone knows that the activity, you understand the activity, and you made your homework. So yeah, that's the most important thing. Of course, as Marta mentioned before, she's there all the time. I'm gonna be there as well. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me on the group chat, or privately you can just chat me or email me, as well as Marta. So I think we are all set. What do you think, Marta?
I think so. A little bit of healthy competition is always good. So I'm going to say it out loud. Maybe someone will be motivated by it. Can you do all the 10 activities? Can you?
I'm sure, yes. So yeah, I think we are ready for the first activity. So
I think so. So my question to you is, how do you feel about starting this challenge? I came up with this very scientifically proven 2-hour scale of emotions. So
I love all of them. I think I'm more like number 3. I think I feel like it resonates to me this way.
Cool. I'm happy to hear that.
Virgie is number 4. Okay.
Cool. Okay, I'm glad no one is number 6. That wouldn't be good.
It's number 7.
We've got number 7 as well. Okay, so rather smiley, I'd say. I'm not sure about the 4. I'm not sure. But you wanna share?
Yes. So I picked number 4 because it's kind of like, to me, it's like excited, but like both in a positive and a negative way. I think I'm kind of like scared on how it's going to be as well, but in the same time I'm also excited, like eager to learn. So hopefully it's going to be more towards the learning and the positive side.
Yeah. Great. I mean, scared and excited, that we can have both of these emotions towards the same thing. Like, I don't see a problem with that, and I always say to my clients as well, you can experience all the different kinds of emotions as long as you understand where they're coming from and know how to manage them. Then all emotions are information. Emotions are information, so it's not like that. There's no such thing as negative emotion. I think they're just uncomfortable ones.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I just mentioned that, but there you go. You have our emails for Marta and for me. That's where you can find us. Thank you so much, Marta. It was a pleasure. I'm really excited to get started and to see your first activity.
Yeah, same here. It's already in the app if you're curious. Are you ready to check off that first exercise and have it done with?
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty excited. So yeah, once again, thank you, Marta. I'm looking forward to these 10 days with you.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.